starting with the Kangertech EMOW Mega. I bought this from a vaping shop in Croydon. I bought this for £50, which now I've discovered after researching lots and lots that is quite overpriced. But I'm trying to open the box so you can have a look at what's inside. So you open the box and you get inside the EMOW Mega, obviously. Take this little piece out, pop that out there. So this is the device. As you can see, it comes in a lovely blue colour. I chose the blue because I preferred it over the red. However, I have realised that this now looks a bit like a sonic screwdriver, but oh well, can't please everyone. What else do you get in the box? So, you get your charging cable, and I've read on the company's website they say specifically you must use this charging cable. I haven't tried it with any others, but this one's done me just fine. You get some replacement cords, which I'm afraid I've used all of them. I did say I got this about 2 months ago, so... And you get a little booklet, which I haven't read. So my first impressions on the EMOW Mega, when I first got this, the first thing that I noticed was how intense the flavour was. I mean, I came from just like an Ego battery, like 650 mAh battery with like a 299 clearomizer on top. So the difference in the flavour for me in this device was incredible. Also, something that struck me about this device was just the style of it. I mean, it's a pretty stylish looking device for something that, you know, kind of in the intermediate price range, you know what I mean? Someone that's kind of knows what they're doing, but then again, in the same kind of scenario, actually doesn't know what they're doing at all. This is a brilliant device. This is a 1600 mAh battery. It's rechargeable. It is the Ego style charging battery, which I've discovered now is a bit of a downside, but I mean, if you're just starting out, that's not going to trouble you whatsoever. It lasts me a good day. Just. If I'm out and I'm using this, you know, 24/7, pretty solid, this is going to fail on me by the end of the day. But if I'm using it just, you know, like a normal smoker, you're going to be fine with this for a day, possibly a day and a half. This battery actually has variable voltage control. It goes all the way from 3.2 volts all the way up to 4.8, which is actually pretty hefty range for a little pen device like this. You can see it's not much bigger than an Ego style. About how it vapes, so we'll start it on 3.2 volts. So as you can see, not getting much out of that for 3.2 volts. Also the flavour is quite sacrificed at 3.2 volts. We'll chuck it on around 4. We'll give it a go. There you go, so as you can see, we're getting a lot more vapour from that. A lot more flavour as well. You get a nice throat hit from this. I'm on a 6mg nicotine, so the throat hit from this is, you know, it's pretty nice. Let's crank it up to 4.8 and just show you what we can do. This is at max capacity. Okay, this fully charged battery, 4.8 volts, full up tank, full airflow as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. So as you can see, pretty impressive clouds for a little device like this. So one thing I'm going to talk about is the adjustable airflow on these things. I'll give you a close-up. This is a pretty nifty feature, I think. I mean, if you're new to cigarettes, you're going to want it about here, because this is going to draw like a cigarette for you. But if you start to get into vaping, as I found, I've just moved myself more and more to the end. And this has got 5 air holes that you can use. So with the 5 air holes open, it's kind of like a straw sucking motion that you would use instead of like your conventional cigarette motion when you're smoking. So this is how you would use it on 5 open air holes. Whereas if I turn it down to just 1 hole, this is going to be much harder for me to draw on. So I'm going to have to into the mouth, then to the lungs, just like a cigarette. As you see. So let's talk a little bit about the tank. This is just standard Kangertech EMOW Mega tank, very similar to the Kangertech Pro tank, which is another good tank. This has done me really well. The coils in this, I would say, if you're vaping pretty hard, are going to last you about 2 weeks, which is really, really good, I think, for the value that you can buy them for. Fast Tech does a really Really good deal on these coils. I'll link you to that down below. One thing that's a little bit strange about this is the drip tip. From having this device, the one thing that I kind of almost don't like about it is the drip tip. It's a weird shape. It doesn't really fit in your mouth that well. But I mean, this is all subjective. This is all my own opinion based on, you know, what I like showing in my mouth. So let's talk overall about this device. If you want to give up smoking, don't go straight in with this. If you've been on an Ego style device, maybe a Vision spinner, for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, now's time to move up. You're going to get a new flavour sensation with this device, okay? It is going to feel so much more intense, the flavour that you get from this. Morning, the evening, whatever time of the day, is going to hit you exactly the same level every time. Having this variable voltage, obviously, if I was running this at 3.2 volts all day, this is going to last me 2 days. But the simple fact is, I don't run at 3.2 volts. I'm always at 4 to 4.8 volts. So it is going to last me a bit less, which is something that I suppose we just have to deal with. The full battery charging time, I think, is about 4 hours for this device, which I think is a very long time. But as suggested by Kangertech, it wouldn't be a good idea to charge it with anything else other than this thing here. So my final impression, this device is a great intermediate setup. Okay, it comes, I think it comes in 4 colours. It's red, blue, silver and black, I believe. And I mean, a stylish device, nice vape, great flavour, great nicotine hit, works just as well without nicotine. This device is going to help you out, and obviously anything is better than smoking, but this is more than just better. This is great. This is a good little device. I recommend it to anyone who's at the same kind of place that I am, intermediate level, just waiting to bridge up to a few more levels, you know what I mean, getting interested in rebuildables and things like that. This is the device for you. I would give this, let's do 4 out of 5 stars. This will be a 3.5. So this is a solid device, solid vape, one to watch. And in my next review, I'm going to be doing some juice reviews. What I've decided I'm going to do is going to do some reviews on Vampire Vape and their flavours. So yeah, tune in for that. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe.